And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cisco's. So, what I did do offline, here's a shocker, I did not work on our colony. However, I did go exploring a couple dungeons. So, before we had raided this brick dungeon, and then if you guys remember in our previous Cisco series, there's other ways of identifying different dungeons besides looking for the little circle tower. There's some houses, and then there's some weird looking structures like this. So, what I did do was I came over here, raided this one. I did travel quite far down, and I believe this might also be another Cisco's. I might actually have
That's
to go
not
check
what
that
was
out.
promised to me. This
But
housing stinks.
okay, very ignorant. But somewhere over here, oh yes, another one right there. So I did visit two more uh, little dungeons, and I was able to get, as you can see, the Ring of Flight. And well, this is going to be very nice, especially when it comes to mine colonies. For me personally, I really like it just because it does help with having a higher viewpoint to see how you want to structure your colony. As you can see, when we hold the wand, we kind of get to see the uh, biggest boundary or the outer boundary as to what is considered our colony. And right now, I do need to flatten out this area, how I said before, so that we can build the school and then we can terraform it a little bit. But yeah, I do plan on expanding our colony in this direction, which is pretty cool, just because we can potentially reach the river, which will then allow us to get a little creative and maybe make a little mini dock. So in case we get a ship, I mean, it makes sense. We could offload some resources here. I think that would be pretty cool. And I did do quite a bit of research, so we do have the ability to build a hospital as well as the barracks, which I will get started on that at some point. But for right now, the school and the mystic site are probably two of the things that I do want to focus on. As for everything else, I think I might be upgrading these residences instead of building more, just because we did upgrade our builders' huts. And as you upgrade their huts, you should upgrade the residences, just because a tier 2 citizen wants a tier 2 residence. If not, they get slightly upset. So these guys are probably not the happiest right now. So yeah, we should probably work on that. Besides that, I did want to do a little bit of gambling this episode. I remember the previous episode I did talk about the store and how we can use our newly acquired wealth to get tons of materials. And one of the things that I do need right now is XP, which if we come over here and look at the rewards, we have a 1 in I think 15 or 20 chance, I'm not counting that, to get 250 levels of XP, which would be phenomenal. So, it's gonna take 40 coins per, so if we just do this a couple times, I think that's a pretty solid amount that we can gamble. Just because if we can get that XP, we can actually use the ancient material to reforge some stuff. And now that we have two rings that I do plan on using till the end game, these are definite items. I do plan on reforging these guys, as well as currently we do have these two looting charms from L2 Hostility. I don't know if you guys remember, but this one's very basic. It's the very introduction looting charm, which will allow you to get extra items, to which I was able to acquire two of these Dragon's Breath from defeating enemies that had the gravity and or moonwalk trait. So, since I got two of them, I made this charm, which then unlocks newer items for different traits. So if any of these enemies have any of these traits, we shall start being able to unlock all of these items, which is going to be very nice because this will also lead into the next item and then to the next item. And then, yeah, you're just unlocking more items. What can they be used for? Well, if we look at some of the stuff from L2 Hostility, as you can see, at some point we can actually start getting the trait themselves and then craft it into various things, like this one, making the Ring of Healing, which will heal 5% of our health, max health, every second. And if I do the same or a similar build to what I did on a server, I should be able to heal roughly 40 health per second, so it's going to be pretty hard for these enemies to kill us. And or we can alternate it with, maybe we actually do get very into Ars Nouveau. This will be very nice. Or the Ring of Life, where this is actually pretty nice, especially when you are fighting some bosses, where you will not lose more than 90% of our health at once. So it'll be nice seeing your health take a big dip in case of an event, and then seeing, oh, looks like this ring is very useful. To which this one is a little harder to craft because we actually do have to fight enemies that do have the legendary modifier, which I think I've only fought maybe 2-3 enemies in the past on a server, just because I did not really try getting very far into L2 Hostility and kind of stopped at some point. But enough with the yapping, we need XP so that we can reforge this and get that level, or that 151% enter spell power. That would be very nice. So without further ado, let's get some of these loot crates. So we just submit it, click it, and then it'll automatically give us something. And it looks like we just got the Ancient Codex, which is kind of a crazy first item. Just because if we take a look at it, yeah, we get 200 mana, but if we reforge it, that could be up to 400. The cast reduction is 20%, which is insane. Of course, we don't get bonuses. However, once we reforge it and take off the gems, we can always just throw it onto this guy, and we can actually hold way more spells. So this is actually super nice. Let's keep on going. Okay, submit it again. Click on it. Got some Dread Steel. So let's see how much Dread Steel was that. Only one. Oh well. And looks like we got the XP. 400. Hell yeah. Let's get some more. Kind of want at least one more. Let's see. Click it again. Another XP. One more time. Another XP. Let's do it again. Okay, there we got netherite. And we will do one more for fun. Let's see, anything else that we may want to try for? Honestly, looking at it, maybe some legendary ink. So let's see. Looks like we got even more XP. One more time. Okay, we got some gems. Don't care about that. Another codex. Okay. More gems. Do it again. I think I just got more XP. And how much money do we have left? Okay, going through it just a little bit. Look at that XP level. It's so nice. And then, I mean, if you really want to, you could just dump it over here and get yourself probably maxed out on skill points. However, as I said previously, I just increased my skill cap to 210, so I can put an extra 100 skill points wherever I choose to. However, if I did not have these extra skill points, all I would say is I would not have this bar, but the skill tree would basically remain the exact same with the mod's allocated skill points. So one more showcase, and I believe this is going to be the last time I reference that, and then I'm going to start allocating points as I please. But let's try this a couple more times. Elytra. Don't really care about that. We have Blight already. I think that was even more XP. That's insane. Whoops. Okay, so come back over here. Please give me ink. I could really use it. Ancient Codex, another one. Some pearls. That's okay, I guess. Netherite. That's decent. Ring of Undying. That's decent. Origin. We might go broke here, guys. Okay. Another Origin? Really? And looks like that's all of our money. Unfortunately, but let's toss all these extras there. This guy, I feel like I'm gonna destroy. Actually, let's see. Can we increase it to 2? Yeah, this might actually be a little useful, potentially. Maybe not. Increase all enchantments. I don't know. We'll toss that there. This one prevents us from dying. Bad chance that happens. Let's toss these guys here. And, well, we got XP. We did not get the legendary ink. But maybe in the future we will. You guys will know how I get all those coins from using our farm. And we still technically have 1,000, but we do want to save up as much coins as possible for the future. So if we toss this guy over here, look at that. 4 slots to equip gems. We get increased flying speed and we get ender spell power. That's probably the best from that. Oh, that used so many sigils of rebirth. So I do want to reforge these guys. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not this guy. We'll see. We will see. Ancient Codex. Okay, so we need these guys as well. This guy's ready to be modified. So let's see. I know I have a lot of gem dust over here. Could just come do that. This side, grab you, grab this, and then let's make some more. So to make some of these, we just do this. Boom. Make as many as we can. Do this, as many as we can. 55. Decent amount, decent amount. Toss this, and this guy for sure. Okay. So that increases lightning speed. This one increases ender. And this one increases ender and evocation. At this point, I'm just looking for whichever ones... Whoops, did not mean to do that. Damn, is all I could say about that. Let's get some of this and probably this stack over here. This is dabbling in slightly dangerous territory. So let's come back over here, do this once again. Boom. That should be everything. Then, let's see, like this, like that, right click, shift. Really? Why did it do that? Okay, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Toss these in there, toss this in here. And let's check you again. So technically, if we redo it, I do want... Oh, let's see. This one gives us more ender. They both give us the same sockets. Let's see. Fire and fall damage reduce. This one's magic and fire. So this one's kind of way better, honestly. And it's so much cheaper. So we will take this. That's nice. And then we will check this guy out real quick. As for this one, this is actually pretty solid. Only thing I don't like is the sockets. Here, sockets are okay, not that good. We can always add sockets. That's the one plus to this. So we will do this. And if you want to add sockets, let's see, I'm pretty sure we got some socketing thingies at one point. Let's see, let's hope I put it in here. Looks like I didn't. Oh, this is up here. Nope. Okay, possibly in the miscellaneous area? No? I swear, I thought I got some. Could be wrong. here? Nope. And I guess I actually did. No, I did. Cool. So to just add the sockets, all you have to do is come to a smithing table. And because this was used with an ancient material, technically we should be allowed 4 slots. So if we come over here and toss it there, and toss these sigils of socketing, we should be able to add, oh, it looks like we could only add 1 more, and then I guess that's a specialty, getting 4 slots. But at the same time, I don't really care too much, because we might have to discard this guy to make room for the other guys that we do want to use. So, not too bad. An extra 3 spots. This has 4 spots. This is going to increase our Ender spell power quite a lot. And last but not least, we'll do the codex real quick, and then we will continue on with the episode. So, looking over here, get some Ender spell power, evocation, and lightning. That's probably the best that I've seen so far. Let's see, this one, basically same thing, just less gems. So let's see, we get Holy, Ender, and Evocation. We lose out on Lightning. We get Lightning, Ender, lose out on the other 2, but we get 4 slots. And this has some really good stats. Honestly, I think we are going to go with this one. Reason being, we can always modify it. What do I mean that we can always modify it? Well, say you reforged something and you went with the lowest tier rolls possible, but you only focused on the slots, which I highly recommend if you're not as resource rich as I am. And then you come over here to the augmenting table. Of course, you are going to need some different sigils, and the ones you are going to need are the sigil of enhancement. So if we are to craft a couple of these real quick, then I could actually showcase how cool the apotheosis is in general. So if we do this, do that. I love having so much dust, don't have to care. So we do this, we click on that, we get a stack of sigil enhancements. You come over here to the augmenting table, and let's say we want to switch the ice spell power to, let's say, hold, and then maybe the summon, we want to switch it to evocation. So we just click it up there. It's like, okay, this is what you have, but you can't really look at anything. You're like, oh, toss this up here, and then it tells you what you can switch things to. So if we come over here, we said we want to switch this guy. If we look at it, those are all the different things that can be added. So if we click on it, boom, we got evocation, which is exactly what we wanted. So let's come back down and switch out the summoning. We wanted holy. So we just click on it a few times. As you can see, it does reduce the sigils, and just like that, we got everything we wanted. Now we have a little bit of Ender, a little bit of evocation, a little bit of holy for the order and truth, and then some lightning. So this is going to boost our stuff really well. So if we come over here, we can easily swap that out. And then, boom, technically, we increase the percentages. And we could do the same with our rings. However, I do want to add gems to them first, because those guys, I do have I do know what I want to add. So that's a lot, that'll make things a lot easier for us before we head on out. And if you guys don't know what I do want to add, well, it's always going to be these reinforced jewels on anything that is a ring, or considered jewelry, which happens to be a ring. So we'll come over here, we'll grab these guys, and I'm pretty sure that is all I have. And we are just going to toss them all on. Of course, if you want to remove the gems and upgrade them, because let's say we make a gem farm, in the future, then all you have to do is use a sigil of withdrawal to remove all the gems from an item. Does not destroy the item, does not destroy any of the gems. Super nice. So we put our ring, and let's say put a flawless on it. Boom, 21, because we have the gem effect that increases anything put on the ring by 50%. So we'll take this, and then we will throw this guy on there. And then we'll throw one of these and another one, just like that. This is maxed out how we want it to be. As for throwing it onto this guy, it looks like these guys are also considered jewelry, which is super nice. This guy is probably going to last and stay with us for quite a while, maybe outlive this dude. So we will add it to this guy, and just like that, we increased our armor. Oh, I don't think this guy changed the percentages. Ah, so I guess this is not considered jewelry, but still allows us to put it on. Cannot complain, just because look at our armor. It's going to go from 229 to, once we have all of these applied, 344. Kind of insane. Super nice. I cannot lie, it's super nice. And then with all this extra XP, we technically don't need it right now, so we will store it in one of these XP blocks. Can't hold infinite XP, or 2,147,000,000 blah blah blah, aka Bitmax. Yeah. Now let's get rid of all these spells. So we'll take you off, put you there, remove everybody, and then put it onto our new book, and then take a look at how much the spells have changed. So now let's go first up, fortification. Oh, I guess I could just do this. Boom, put the holy together. Here we could have oak skin. Right here, do magic missile. Then we'll do echoing strikes right there. Charge immediately after it, just so it's easy access. And then these guys don't really matter, but I'll do this, that, and that. Boom. Now we have all those equipped. And if we just swap out this hat to unnerf ourselves, and then of course I could do those gems in the future, so I'll leave you here as a reminder to get to it. But if you guys remember, our echoing strikes was previously in the 200 to 267 realm, depending on holding our sword and using charge beforehand. But now that our spell power has increased, let's see, does not show here, unfortunate, but if we click on this little arrow, we can actually see the stats and how they changed. And if we come down here, you can actually see how the ender spell power has changed. So now that we have added about, I want to say that is 340% spell power compared to before, let's check out how these strikes have changed. So if we look at it, it went from 267 to 1183. And then if we take a look here at our charge, now the effect length is a minute and, or 1.1 minutes, which is 1 minute and 6 seconds, I believe. But what was cool, or what's cool about this, is once we use it, so we use it, of course we're going to be crazy fast, which can be annoying to some, but I mean, super cool. If you hold R and take a look again at our echoing strikes, because of the spell power boost, now it is 1571, almost a 400% increase. So whenever we utilize this guy and then start attacking something, we are going to be decimating our enemies. The only item I would highly recommend adding to, or the other spell to add as soon as possible, honestly, which I might actually do right now. Yes, we do have one more epic. I should have a paper over there, and if we grab an ender pearl, is evasion. So if we do this and that and scroll down, evasion. Why do you want evasion? Well, it says one hit dodge. Well, that's kind of nothing. However, let's kind of move these guys around real quick. And then let's put evasion right there. Flaming strike, we'll put you back right here. And then that guy, I don't even know why. But if we take a look at evasion now, oh, it just says 1. Interesting. Is it because of the tier? Hold up, evasion. Yeah, interesting. So, if it's evasion 1, it's only 1 hit, but if you get it all the way up to legendary, as you can see, 22 hits dodged. So I'll just make another one in the future when we have more money to gamble and or we find another Archevoker or whoever else to take on to get some more legendary ink. But yeah, just like that. If you get this guy, it's super nice due to the fact that some dragons can be very aggressive, and if you are not paying attention, well, your armor should, or your shield should take a huge hit, maybe even get destroyed. But in that time frame, if you know where your spells are, you can automatically utilize it. So like for me, boom, that's echoing strikes, that's magic missile, boom, evasion, straight down, charge. So honestly, I could see my shield disappear and switch to evasion, turn it on. If you have the legendary spell, boom. Now when you get hit, you get teleported away a little bit, so you don't get one tapped by a dragon, which is going to be very handy and might be something we do in the near future.